Welcome home, horror fans. My name's Adam.
And I'm Zoe, and today we are talking about Late Night with the Devil.
Please be warned, anyone with young children in the room.
Go to commercial!
What you're about to see
You okay, Jack?
is profoundly disturbing and shocking.
It's finally here, the super hyped indie horror film, Late Night with the Devil. I feel like I've been waiting for this one for months. They've been hyping it so much over the internet.
The film follows Jack Delroy, a late-night talk show host who's willing to do whatever it takes to captivate his audience. And boy, does he do whatever it takes. Without spoiling anything, this film is fantastic. And David Dastmalchian, as the lead role of Jack Delroy, is phenomenal. His performance is incredible. And you only ever see David in sort of background roles. He's in a lot of films.
Yes, you'll notice his face in a lot of stuff.
His face is in a lot of things,
Yes, yeah.
but he's never the center point. And I think that they hit a home run casting him as Jack Delroy as the main part of this
Absolutely.
film.
Yeah, David Dastmalchian in this one has just absolutely, like you said, knocked it out of the park. He's absolutely killed it. He is the character.
He is Jack Delroy.
He is Jack Delroy. This film is a found footage style film. It is basically like you're watching an entire episode of late night TV from the 70s, and it feels really real. It's very authentic in the way it's presented as a talk show. And watching the film the whole time, I just couldn't believe how much it really felt like Jack Delroy was a real person. Like, the character came across so well
I
on
would
the screen.
say that he has hit the mark, Jack did, with getting what he wants. He really did captivate his audience, his audience being us.
Yes.
I couldn't take my eyes off the film. The film is so well shot. The color grading is incredible.
Yeah, it's perfect.
The way it's made to look super old and like a super old late night talk show is just... the level of detail is incredible. I couldn't get over it. And then to learn that the film is a Melbourne film and filmed in our hometown was just delightful.
Yes, we're very proud to say this one was shot in our backyard here in Melbourne, in the studios here. So it's a co-production between Australia and America, and I think a couple other places. But phenomenal to know it was shot very local to us. So we're very proud. It's actually directed by a couple of brothers who are both Australian
Cameron
as well.
and Colin Cairns.
So very, very cool to hear. And look, they have done a phenomenal job here. I think the directors, they're a pretty unknown couple of directors. And for an outing like this, like the way they've crushed it, it's so good. Every element in this film, like it's a cinema experience that you rarely get. And, I don't want to overhype the film too much, but I was sitting there watching the movie literally thinking this might be the cinema experience of the year, possibly bar Saw 11. But effectively, the film was blowing me away. From the very start of the film, the intro captivates you instantly. It's got this phenomenal intro, which really gives you this full background of the show, of the Night Owl show, of Jack Delroy, of who he is.
Of his struggles and where he's wanting to take his fame.
It paints the picture so well.
I completely agree with you. I think the cinema experience was unlike anything that we've really experienced in a while. I would go as far to say maybe not quite anywhere near as good as Saw 10 cinema experience, but because the film is different enough, it's just unlike anything you'll see.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. The intro is narrated by the very famous Michael Ironside. He's got this very great, deep voice, and it's just cut so beautifully with these very quick cuts and animations, just really making you feel like you're back in the 70s and really makes it feel like it's a real show you're about to watch. I know some people online are actually even asking whether it's based on true events or if the show was ever real. Like, it feels like this was a real production. And if you are a fan of late night shows at all, you will understand why they get so many things right, from not just the host and the guests and the way the band is sort of put together. Everything about it is just perfect. This is like you are watching real late night TV. And the whole film is, of course, about Jack actually trying to battle Johnny Carson, who was the big late night host of the time, and win the ratings war. And you can feel the struggle here. It's fantastic. And of course, the links that he goes to, being that this is a Halloween special, it gets pretty crazy pretty quickly.
It does get pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And Jack is great. The whole film is great. For the keen-eyed Saw fans out there, we do actually get Laura Gordon in this film as well, who played Ashley in Saw 5. I actually didn't put that together till after the film. But the entire cast is amazing.
Yes.
There's nothing I can fault in terms of the cast. There's nothing I can fault in terms of how the film is produced and just given to us and color graded and everything. I think it's fantastic. I would go as far to say that this is better than Talk to Me.
Well,
Talk to Me
hot take.
came out last year. It's also an Australian film, and it took everyone by storm. This film is just, it's different enough and it's unique enough
Very unique.
for me to enjoy it a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, I think Talk to Me was great. It was a little bit polarizing. This film, I think that where it wins, it is very, very unique. And like you said, this is probably a big thing about the movie. But overall, I do want to say, like, if you're going into this film expecting like a lot of jump scares, a lot of horror, like it's a little bit of a slower burn. So don't sit there thinking like, oh, give me just like horror out the gate. I think that they go for more realistic tone. So it's a building film. It sort of makes its way to its bigger climax over time, which works really, really well because it does feel realistic, which is awesome. Look, we can sit here and talk praise about this movie all day long. We don't want to spoil anything. We don't want to talk about the elements of the film. I would say don't even watch trailers for it.
No, if I could have my time over with this film again, I would go in completely blind, knowing nothing about it. I think that there's so many surprises and there's so many captivating moments of this film that even the first sight of a spoiler can ruin it for you.
Absolutely.
So although I did watch the trailer before I went into it and still enjoyed it, I think that you'll have a lot more fun with it if you go in completely blind.
Yeah, I feel like we watched a newer trailer after we'd seen the film, which added more in the new trailer. And I was like, I'm glad I did not see this trailer because there's way too much. I feel like in the latest trailer, way too much. You want to just experience everything as it comes along, because as he brings out new guests and things get worse and worse, you don't expect some of the stuff that happens in it. And it's very cool. It's very creepy. And yeah, far more exciting to go in blind because this is one that's got a lot of surprises, which is awesome.
I completely agree.
So very happy overall with this movie. We 100% employ you to basically go and
Couldn't recommend it enough.
Yeah, see this film in the cinema. Like, have it really captivate your attention. Focus on it properly. It's a cinematic experience, especially like for a film that's shot on such a low budget, which was, I think it was only like $1 million or so. Incredible cinematic experience. Definitely worth going and seeing while you can.
Completely agree.
That was Late Night with the Devil. Let us know if you've seen it, if you're excited to see it. Otherwise, guys, we'll see you in the next video.
See you next time, guys.
Game over.